Hello everyone and welcome to Moonride. This is Dave Johnson and I'm channeling Man in the Moon. Today I want to ask about the fate of Liz Cheney. I have very two-sided Liz feeling right here. It's furious Liz and sad Liz. And I get this, you reap what you sow. You know, you start in on lies and you wind up being the only person left who's defending the truth. It's quite ironic. It's Liz's fate. It is karma. It's totally karmic. Yeah, again, just a tear, but then she's enraged. So, Spirit, what's her future going to look like? How about the next year? Continuing disappointment. Nobody's listening to her. She pounds on the gavel. Not nobody. Oh, very few people are listening. But you know, it's not nothing, right? So she is there creating problems for Republicans because some people know she's telling the truth. Some Republicans, especially. She's also very useful in the sense of, I mean, if Liz Cheney believes that Trump is a dictator, how could that possibly be if he isn't? You know what I mean? It's creating this sort of benefit to all of us to say, look, I mean, she's as conservative as they come. What is her fate? So I'll just tell you what I see. There's a very dark and gray space in front of me. It's like almost like a cloudy, almost like misty, dark tree kind of place. It looks like it could be from a horror movie or a graveyard or something. But there's a little red bird, right? And it's kind of like her, she's this dark gray person. But there's a tiny little red bird of hope, a tiny little red bird of natural goodness. So in a way, we can say she's nurturing this little bird. And also, it is making her really tenacious and really strong. Anyone who has experienced the kind of thing that Liz has experienced, where you have really like a huge Goliath against you, lots of money against you, knows that it can really build your character. And in a way, she's getting the feeling and the experience that most women, especially, experience. Yeah, now she knows what it's like, right? And not just women, gays and lesbians, you name it. I mean, anybody of people who's oppressed. Now she knows how they feel. So, she's no longer the spoiled little rich girl, right? Who never touched reality. Interestingly enough, it's also affecting her father, because her father is sort of, he knows that this is karma. There's a tiny chink of shame in his armor, just the tiniest bit, and that will grow. He's also noticing the history. What will people say in the future about what we've done and who I was? And as he approaches the end of his life, he's realizing that that's really far more important than he thought it was. He didn't. He wasn't 100% lying in the sense that, just like as all liars, they convince themselves that something is true and then sell it, right? So part of them believes it's true, part of them knows it's a lie, but that's him. So let's get back to Liz. I see this as this is a political graveyard. That gray space that I was looking at, it's a political graveyard. So I don't see a very good future for Liz Cheney. I see her end. And there are many gravestones there. So it's not only going to be her gravestone, it's not only going to be her that politically becomes irrelevant, or worse than irrelevant, reviled. There are lots of others out there. You have that feeling like when you go to a graveyard, and you have that feeling like it's 120 years old. Who still visits this graveyard? And the answer is no one. No one goes to these places anymore and knows the names on those graves, right? We all know who Lincoln is, right? But we won't know who Cheney is. No one will care. She's politically finished from this vision. She's going to keep working hard. It's going to be character building for her. And frankly, it's about time. It's about time she got some real life experience instead of sort of elitism that she grew up with. And I'm just going to explore this further. Why is someone like Liz Cheney conservative? It's like she's in school, she's playing, she likes the rules, she likes playing the games. It makes her angry when certain people aren't playing the games fairly, they're not following the rules. So that's the sort of place, again, on the schoolyard where she got this idea of following the rules and how everybody has to follow the rules or it's not fair. So the origin of it, not necessarily like such a bad thing. It was just very warped by her upbringing, the religion that she follows. When I see her in church, and she's just pretty much believes everything as law, right? Her church is the one and only church. Similar churches might be okay. That's the kind of feeling that you get from her. And also her parents, who are extremely strict. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and very much dominated by her father. Right? I see her father slap her across the face. Yeah, she will follow the rules. And also realize that she got attention for them. In high school, people wanted to be her friend because she's rich and powerful. I see her as being attractive and sporty in high school. And so she had power over people. She had the power to, be in the club that everybody wants to belong to. And so she got attention for it. And she did work hard. She did work hard through college. So that's another thing that sort of reinstills the conservative values is you do want a reward for your hard work. And, we all deserve rewards for our hard work. She just assumes that that's the only game in town. It's just about hard work. She also assumes, of course, that everybody had the same opportunities that she did, and they did not. Right? That's the origin. And now she's experiencing the other side of that, where she's not the popular kid in school. She's the opposite. And where standing up for your values and the truth and the rules no longer applies. It doesn't matter for her. I do not see Liz Cheney living a happy life hereafter. It's a series of disappointments, disillusionment, being separate from others. That scene in Dangerous Liaisons, the old one with Glenn Close. Spoiler alert, but there's the scene at the very end of the movie where she's taking off her makeup and you see the real her. And you realize that her social life is over. Nothing will ever be enjoyable really again because she's fallen. And that's Liz Cheney. From here till her death, not much. There will not be much pleasantness. She will not be, accepted or on any level by anyone. She has no camp to rest in. Very few people will respect her for this one thing, but they still won't respect her much for anything. Yeah, there will be few tour dates. There will be few opportunities for her to say her political point of view or any point of view. She's not going to be on Fox, and she's not going to be on NBC. I have to tell you, as I watch this, I actually kind of feel sorry for her. You don't have to feel sorry for her, though, because she really is reaping karma. You know, one thing about her is she's an example of someone who is delusional and who sold out. She knew what Trump was doing 4 years ago. She knew, and she participated in the things that he did for her own personal benefit. So, you know, this is just karma, and it's an example of the karma that many people will receive. And my impression, all of us do eventually face karma. As I say this, please don't think that I understand what karma is. I don't. I'm using this as a sort of term of what goes around comes around. Let this also be an example for all of us, though, that what goes around really does come around. People do ultimately face the consequences of their actions, and if not in this particular lifetime, in another. I would say even in this lifetime, in my experience, people do experience a kind of karma. We might not see it, but it does happen. If only in the fact that Liz will never make a new friend again. She will never have anybody respect or listen to her opinion, except for a very small minority of people. And that is a terrible fate for someone who their whole life thrived on this sort of ego-based idea that they have all the answers and they're really superior to other beings. This is her karma. She does not have much to look forward to in her life. Whoever you are out there, you may have made mistakes in your lifetime. Be glad that in your lifetime you did make choices in the right direction. You did do the right thing. Even if though it was difficult, all of us have done that for the past 4 years in greater or smaller ways. And notice that those people who did stand in their integrity, all of those, let's just say women, those fellow women who did work really hard and stand in their integrity, they're going to reap the rewards. They're going to be happier people. It doesn't necessarily mean they'll be richer people, but they'll be happier. So they'll know that they did the right thing, even when it was a difficult thing to do. On that note, thanks so much for watching.